Hello world, I'm Kevin. Today I'm excited to share with you an Earthquake Events Explorer web app that I made for the CS50X final project. Here I am on the README splash page on GitHub with all the documentation. A little bit about the app. I basically made a simple web-based application built with vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it basically interfaces with the USGS API to get GeoJSON data about earthquakes. It then uses that earthquake data and summarizes and plots it in different ways. And there's some functionality built in there for the user to sort of dynamically play with the data a little bit and specify different search criteria. So here's a little screenshot of the application, and I'll show you how it works in just a moment. I have a few bullets here in terms of how it works, but basically the user specifies some search criteria for the different earthquakes. An HTTP request is then sent to the USGS API. It gets that data or refreshes it. The data gets parsed, and then it gets graphically output both in space and time, and then there's some summary metatables, as you can see here. Just for some context, the inspiration for this project is basically because I'm a civil engineer and I do a lot of earthquake modeling. So I thought it'd be cool to also build an app that has a little relevance to what I do for a living. In addition, I wanted to keep this app simple. So even though we learned about a lot of cool stuff in the class, like encryption, working with databases, backend frameworks like Flask, I wanted to keep things simple just so that I could finish this project. And also I figured by keeping things simple, we could always layer on more complexity on top of that. So I have a few more footnotes here. I'm not going to go through them for now. I'll just jump to the web app and show you how it works. All right, so here it is. So basically there are a few fields. There's the filter settings, so you could specify a range of magnitudes or a time window, as well as specify a limit for a number of sort of results that you want to retrieve. There's a section here for basically the different earthquakes located spatially, as well as the different earthquakes plotted up by magnitude versus time. And then below that, I have a few tables, basically quick fact summary. These are just the counts of the earthquakes for different magnitude bins, and then some metadata here, basically just the date, time, magnitude, longitude, latitude, sort of a descriptive text about the place, as well as a URL you can kind of click, goes to the main USGS page, which looks a lot nicer than what I built. Anyways, I can show this in action. So right now the filter settings are set to 3, 8, and 2000. I could actually set this to 100, and it should update to return fewer values. And indeed it has. And you can actually see here, this is my location. So there's some JavaScript that retrieves the geolocation information. So I'm currently located in Vancouver. I could also update the magnitude ranges from maybe a minimum of 3 to 4, or oops, why don't we try 5? There we go. And now you can see all the magnitudes are basically 5. You could also toggle these different buttons. So if you want to look at a smaller time window, for example, there you go. Or you could look at it for all of the data that you've retrieved. We could also check out this statistics table so you can see, indeed, we don't have any magnitudes in the bins lower than a magnitude 5. And if we go back up, maybe let's redo this, reset this to 3, or let's keep this 5, but let's update the limit to 2000. There we go. So we're getting a few more results, but maybe we could also adjust this time window here. So let's go back to actually 2021, maybe in June, pick the 16th. This should update momentarily. There we go. So we can see more earthquakes because we're looking at a larger or expanded time window. And we can still see, because we have the filter on, we do have more earthquakes, but again, nothing below 5. And obviously we have, counts 1158 plus 98, but we're only showing 10 here. I added a few buttons, so basically, you can toggle it, you could look at more of the data, or you could just shrink it down if you want to. That basically summarizes this first version of the Earthquake Events Explorer. I hope you enjoyed. I've had a lot of fun taking this class. I've learned a lot and hope to keep learning. This has been CS50. Bye.